Good morning and welcome to Charger Chat. Today we are here with a musical guest. This is Dixen.
Hello.
So do you want to start us off with some questions, Elizabeth?
All right. We're going to start off with how old were you when you knew you wanted to be a musician?
I was 15 when I started playing guitar and just messing around with that. It wasn't until I was probably 17 that I was actively pursuing, like, I want to be a musician. So it was a few years before I realized that, but there's a lot of playing guitar for a while first.
Is that like the first instrument you've ever played? Or?
Yeah. I was big into sports. I did baseball and got hurt. And then because I wasn't doing sports, I was like, well, what am I going to do now? And one of my mom's friends gave me her guitar. And so I just played around with that and figured it out in my room by myself and started writing music. And just kind of everything just went from there. So I feel like often I say, like, I wasn't necessarily looking for it, but it found me in a sense, and then like just kind of been taking me on this ride. So, yeah.
Cool. So you said you started writing music. About how old were you when you started writing?
Almost right away. So like 16, 17. I started writing music. Yeah.
Elizabeth, we better get on it if we want to start writing music. Now is the time.
None of that was really good, but but you just start playing, right?
Yeah.
So.
Besides the guitar, do you know how to play any other instruments?
I could play other instruments. I don't say that though to people just because I'm not really good at a lot of other instruments. Guitar is my main instrument. I can play lead guitar. I could play piano. I could play drums. I could play bass, but I don't say that because I'm not like awesome at it. So I'm just like, yeah, okay. I play guitar, but if you needed me to play an instrument, I could play bass or something. But
Cool.
which I like to play the bass like way up here, old school, just you know.
So you totally prefer guitar then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Electric guitar actually, lead stuff. Wow, wow. That's the good stuff.
Obviously. If you were to play any other instrument, like ever, what do you think it would be?
Well, if I could be great at any instrument, it'd be the drums, because the drums are amazing. If I could play any instrument, probably like, I wish I could play the violin really well, or like the viola. I should probably figure it out, but like really well, not just, you know, the end.
So, like, the violin is pretty tiny, and so if you play violin, you're kind of like, oh, I'm just a small little person playing violin. But since you play guitar, what do you think playing guitar says about you?
What does it say about me? Man, that I can play an instrument and sing? That's a good question. I'd never thought about that before. I don't know, it depends on what you're playing, I think. Depends on the songs you're playing. So like the genre style that you end up playing, I think that's what then categorizes you or puts you, people kind of go, okay, they're a songwriter, or they're a punk rocker, or they're whatever. Like that style, I think, is what kind of puts you in that place as opposed to just having the guitar. So I could hold a guitar all day long, but until I play it, then you'll know, like, oh, okay, that's what he's about, or that's what his style or whatever.
What would you say is your style of music?
I'd say kind of southern rock, folk stuff is what I tend to write. I would love to be able to write other things like straight rock, but my natural tendency is to write more of like a southern rock, folk rock kind of thing. That's what I usually settle into.
Is that what you started out playing, southern rock, or did you start out playing a different kind of?
No, I started playing more rock stuff. I mean, when you pick up a guitar, it's like the first stuff you start learning, or it seems like, is like Led Zeppelin songs and like that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, I got to learn how to play that. Stairway to Heaven, I got to learn how to play, stuff like that. So naturally, I try to learn that stuff. So a lot of rock stuff, but until I started writing music is when I started listening to songwriters, people like that took more of the emphasis is on the lyric as opposed to what's going on the guitar. So that's when I got interested in that. But.
So I started teaching myself ukulele because I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And so I picked it up, and like my go-to song is "Can't Help Falling in Love."
Okay.
Do you have a go-to song where someone's like, "Hey, can you play a song?" Be like, "Yeah, I got this."
I have a couple. One of them is "Wanted Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi. Another one is "Hit Me Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears. So I took that one, and you slow it down, and nobody really knows what you're singing until you start singing the chorus. So it just throws everybody off. It's kind of funny to watch people like realize what you're singing. So I don't know. I guess those would be go-tos. Like if somebody's like, "Play a song," I'd be like, and start playing that.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go to what your dance moves say about you.
All right, welcome back to Charger Chat. I'm Chloe, this is Elizabeth Price, and we are here with Brian Dixen, still.
Still here.
So if we back up a few years, we can see you were in your own band called the Brian Dixen Band.
Original.
Mm-hmm. Just to start us off, who was in the band with you?
So a couple friends of mine, Dave Ramirez, John Birdsong, Caleb Rieger, just close friends that were in the band. Yeah, when we got started and the whole time we were together. So, yeah.
Cool. How long were you guys together?
8 years total, 5 years signed and like touring and stuff. So, but there was at least 3 years of us playing a lot of shows and doing a lot of stuff. Not signed, and you basically play anything that comes your way, which is a lot of like cool shows and then a lot of not cool shows. And then after we got signed and we got an agent and stuff, it started playing shows that were, it's hard to say it like this, but it's just kind of more worth your time. It's like, you know, you're gonna have an audience, you know, it's worth going to and stuff like that, as opposed to showing up and you're like, oh, there's 3 people here. Like maybe should have thought that one through, but anyways.
So you're together for 8 years. What years were that? Like, when did it start?
That was the late 90s, early 2000s when we were together. Yeah. Yes.
When/why did you guys break up?
When we were working on our second album, and going into that, we were all really tired because we've been touring a lot, which is fun, but at the same time, like, we're all at this point, I was just married, the other guys had been married for a little while, some of them were starting to have kids, and so once you get to that point, you have to start kind of, or at least we were like reevaluating, like, what do we want to do and how do we want to do this? And all of us got to a point where just being good dads and good husbands and things like that. Like, the only way we can do that is if we're not doing this at this level, because you're gone all the time. And it's just, you can't be any of those things if you're gone all the time. So we took a step back and just kind of said, well, should we do this anymore? And I kind of really pushed on that you guys really want to do this, and all of us basically were like, we do, but we don't. And so, and the don't just outweighed that. So, which was really hard, because even to this day, there are times where I'm like, oh man, that would have been fun to keep going, but I'm thankful that we didn't, because it was really hard to maintain that and be a good husband, a good father, and all that stuff. So, but.
So, you said you got to perform a lot, some not good, some not bad. What do you think the best performance you ever had was, and where was it?
Oh man, there's so many going through my head. We played a show in Estes Park, Colorado, for a big conference convention, and there were just a ton of. It was like for high school kids, a youth convention, and a lot of kids there. And we had. It was just one of those shows where everything just seemed to work, and we were just on, and everybody responded well. The crowd responded well, so. That was a big thing for us, was like, we're not just playing music, we're trying to like create an experience for people. And when people respond to that, like, you just kind of like play off each other. And so for that show, it felt like it was as good as it could get, as far as just everybody was engaged and it seemed like everything was working, and it was just fun.
So in every like show, there's always going to be like a mishap. Is there like one mishap that you're like, oh gosh, why did that happen?
There are a lot of those. Most of them involved somebody falling, because our show is like, we're crazy. We would jump off stuff all the time, and we were all over the stage. And so when you're not familiar with the place, there were often like somebody would go down, they'd fall, and you just keep going, you keep doing your thing. But there was one instance, actually, at the Estes Park. We played twice there, and our bass player, the stage was set up weird, and there was this gap, and he fell this last note of a song just into the gap, like, and he was fine, but it was really funny. But at the time, it wasn't, because you're like, I think he's dead. I think he literally died, but at least he played the last note well, so we're good.
He ended on a good note.
He ended on a good note. Way to go, buddy.
So did anybody get like actually injured from it or anything?
Well, he got hurt from that, and then I don't know. There were a couple of times where you just kind of, something will happen, you get hurt from jumping off something or whatever.
No broken bones, all right?
No broken bones. Most of our equipment, though, we had to reinforce, like our piano that we had, like all the stuff we had to reinforce, because we'd jump off it, or we'd do stuff like that. And our drummer got upset with me because I run and jump off his drums or something. He's like, you can't do that anymore. These are my babies. You can't do that. I'm like, okay. But it was hard, because I'd always forget and be like, ah! And he's playing the drums all mad at me. I'm like, whoops, oh well. But,
Nice. So you mentioned before that you've performed at many places. You've been on a tour. You went on a tour. What was that like?
Tours are fun. They're depends on what you're doing too, because sometimes you're like just going to one place, and then sometimes you do whirlwind tours where you're playing every night. And that's what we tried to do. Is just we'd go, like, we have a destination, say like the Midwest, or you go down to California, and so all on the way out you try and plan it so you're playing a show every night. At least that's what we tried to do, because then you just hit as many venues, which we loved that. It was really exhausting, but it was a lot of fun. So we did that a lot. We did tours, play almost every night for like 5 days, or all week.
That's cool.
Did you get any like sleep from that? Because I know tours can be like heavy.
You just take turns. It's like somebody would drive, and then everyone sleep while we go to the next place. And then we actually had a guy. So it's the band, and then we had a guy that sold our merch, and then we had a guy that was like our road manager, essentially, and he did most of the driving. So he would sleep during our shows, and then he would drive us to the next place. But every now and then we would rotate with him. But yeah.
You got a system down.
Yeah. After a while, you kind of figure it out, and then you get your rhythm. But
so when I was looking up the Brian Dixen Band for a little research, it said that you opened for the band Jars of Clay. What was that like?
That was fun. We ended up. the best part is we had dinner with them beforehand, and so we were really excited to see them. But they're really like quiet guys, and so when we were brought into the room where the food was, it was like dead silent, and we started giggling because we were just like, it's so quiet in here, you know, and we wanted to talk to them, but they were just kind of doing their thing, and it was kind of awkward, but at the same time, it was like, oh, cool, we're having dinner with them, and so we just sat at the table and just kind of laughed while like we're watching them eat, you know, and then it wasn't until right before the show that we ended up talking to them right before they went on, and they were really cool and everything, but that dinner was slightly awkward, but the food was good, so.
All that matters.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take another quick break. We're gonna see what it's like on a talk show. Here is King Christifa.
And welcome back to the King Christifa Show. I'm your host, King Christifa. Today on the show, we have an amazing guest, Ruben. She overcame powerful, very powerful sob story. Hi, Ruben. Hi, Ruben. How are you today?
I'm good.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Okay, so as I said, Ruben did an amazing thing. Why don't you tell our guests what the amazing thing you did was? Why it's so inspirational?
So I was walking to my friend Chelsea's house, and I looked over into the distance, and I saw this cat laying in the street. And I walked over to it, and it wasn't moving, it wasn't meowing, because cats usually meow at me, and it was super weird. So I ran over there, and he was dead. Oh my God, kitty! So I took him into my arms, and I took my fingers like this, and I banged on his chest like that so he would breathe. Then I went into his mouth. I'm sorry, I'm just getting really emotional.
Okay, she did an amazing
And I
act.
into his mouth, and he started to breathe. I held him in my arms, and then he scratched me and ran away, and it was just a life-changing experience for me. Live!
I bet. What a powerful, inspirational story. What an amazing person we have today.
Thank you.
Since not everyone knows how to do CPR on an animal, we have special present for everyone. You get a callback! Look at your chin, the callback! Tune in next time, because next week it's still gonna be more stop stories and more extreme giveaways.
Hi, and welcome back to Charge Chat. I'm Chloe, and this is Elizabeth and Brian.
So to start us off, now that we've talked a little bit about your past with the Brian Dixen Band, let's talk right now. What have you done since the Brian Dixen Band broke up? And you mentioned before that you guys broke up to start your own family. Did you accomplish that goal?
Yeah, I have 3 kids now. I've been married for 8 years. After the band, during that time to help compensate a little bit, I was working construction as well. But when we ended that, I ended up working at a church as a youth pastor, and then eventually as the music pastor and youth pastor. And that's what I'm still doing now, is I'm the music pastor now at the church I'm at currently. So, yeah.
Cool. For any aspiring musicians out there, tell us, what's your process into writing your own song?
Process into writing your own song. Just to sit and be still with yourself. I think that's one of the hardest things for people to do in general. It's just to quiet the noise around you. because we're so influenced by what we hear and what's going on around us, but to just be still for a little bit and to really tap into like what do I want to say, and not be afraid to say it. And so for me, it always started with I'll start on guitar and just start playing something, and then the lyric would come after that. So I usually start with like a chorus, and then I'd write around that. But for me, it was always I had to retreat. I had to get away from. So even with the band, what I would do is I would write stuff and then come to them and be like, here's, what do we do with this? And then they would make it awesome.
So in a couple minutes, we'll see you perform one of your original songs live. What made you want to start up your solo career?
Just because I have a lot of songs still, and so it's just an outlet for me, just a way to kind of keep doing that, keep pursuing that, just because if I don't, I kind of go crazy, I go stir crazy. It's these songs I got to get out, so.
Oh, so you're still writing music?
Yeah, so.
All right, we're going to take one more quick break before we see Brian perform his original song, The Call. But while we are setting that up, here's a quick look into the lives of the real princesses of Marysville.
My name is Lizabelle. I'm a Capricorn, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm one of the very best princesses of Marysville.
Hello, I am Rapunzel, best princess in Marysville. Daddy paint name on water tower better than everybody else.
Hi, my name's Mulana. I am from Marysville. My dad made the water tower, so I'm better than any other princess in the world.
Sleeping Chloe. Sleeping Chloe. Chloe!
Hello?
The name's Chris. Chris Charming. All the girls want to be me. I mean, all the girls want me. All the guys want to be me.
So tonight we have sleepover at 6 o'clock at my house. Very fun, very exciting, much sleepover.
Today, us princesses are going to Rapunzel's house because she's having a little sleepover party.
So sleepover party just started. Mulana here, but she freak out. I'm so confused. I don't care. Stop.
Your door wouldn't open.
Go sit.
Why did I do that? So I was just trying to go into her sleepover party, and she just told me to stop, and I don't know why. Like, I'm trying to be a good friend to her all the time.
Hey girl. Hello. Sit.
Where's sleeping Chloe?
In the freezer. Wake up.
Oh, guess what? I saw Chris Charming today.
What? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. What happened? Okay, right? I was in the mall, and I saw him walk by, and get this. He winked at me with both eyes. No way! I don't know anybody that can do that. No, he's so talented. Oh my god! But we're totally gonna get married. No. We're totally gonna get married. Not with you.
That is called a blank.
Trust me, it was not a blink. I would know Chris Charming because we're gonna get married. So like, what are we gonna do now?
Well, I don't have pillow, but I have noodle.
Excuse me? What do you think you can hit me with this? When my father hears about this, you're going down.
Fight me.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. No, let's go. No, no. Yeah. No. Moana. Psst. Moana.
So Sleeping Chloe calls me over while Rapunzel and Lizabelle are doing their little hoodlum stuff up here, and she tells me that Rapunzel's accent's actually fake. I mean, I'm just in shock.
You know what? I'm so done with this. I win, you lose, I go get cookie.
So, you'll never guess what I just heard.
What?
Rapunzel's accent's actually fake. She's lied the whole time.
No.
Yes, you
Oh my
straight
gosh.
up. She doesn't deserve Chris
No,
Farming.
she doesn't
I'm
deserve
gonna call him.
Call him right now.
I'm gonna call him
Do
right
it.
now.
Call him
I'm
right
gonna
now.
call him.
Oh, I'm so
gonna
heated.
call him.
My plan worked. Now, Chris Charming will be mine.
I can't even believe
This
this.
is just ridiculous. I'm just. Hello, Chris Charming. Hi, how are you? Okay, thank you. I love you. I love you. Okay, bye. He said he'll be here in an instant. Get out of my camera. I caught him! No! Hey! So, come on in, come on in. Come on, come on. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
My plan to expose Rapunzel has finally worked. Well, our plan.
So, okay, so the reason why I called you over here is because Rapunzel's accent's actually
It's fake. It's fake. It's
And
fake.
you don't need her as a princess
No,
anymore.
you need me.
You need
No, you need me.
Ladies, I'm not interested at all.
You gotta lower your guard, loosen your grip. You gotta open your heart and let me in, 'cause I wanna be life to flood your veins. I wanna be hope that drowns your pain. I wanna be faith that can't contain that I'm alive. I wanna be joy in your eyes. I wanna be the grace that makes you shine. I wanna be love that cannot hide that I'm alive. Yes, I'm alive. You gotta lighten your load. Stop fighting alone. You gotta open your mind so you can know that I wanna be life that floods your veins. I wanna be hope that drowns your pain. I wanna be faith that can't contain that I'm alive. I wanna be joy in your eyes. I wanna be the grace that makes you shine. I wanna be love that cannot hide that I'm alive. Come one, come all, and hear the call. It rolls like thunder. It's like no other. Come one, come all, and hear the call. It rolls like thunder. It's like no other. It's like no other. It's like no no other. 'Cause I wanna be light that floods your veins. I wanna be hope that drowns your pain. I wanna be faith that can't contain that I'm alive. I wanna be joy in your eyes. I wanna be the grace that makes you shine. I wanna be love that cannot hide that I'm alive. Yes, I'm alive.